Vice President Kamala Harris kicking off a bus tour today in the swing state of Georgia.
Meantime, former President Donald Trump responding to a superseding indictment filed against him in the federal election interference case. KTLA's Eric Spillman here with more on all of it. Eric, good morning.
Morning, Frank. Morning, Jessica. One important thing to point out, the special counsel has filed a new indictment, but that doesn't mean there's going to be a trial anytime soon. That could be months or even years away. The revised indictment is similar to the old one. Donald Trump is still accused of plotting to overturn his loss in the 2020 election. He's charged with conspiracy to defraud the United States. He's also charged with obstructing the certification of the election on January 6th, depriving millions of Americans of their rights to have their votes counted. But special counsel Jack Smith removed a section of the original indictment that accused Trump of using the Justice Department to undo the election. Smith did that because the U.S. Supreme Court recently ruled that presidents cannot be prosecuted for so-called official acts. They can't be charged for carrying out their official duties. Trump reacted with anger on social media. He called it the persecution of an opponent and the resurrection of a dead witch hunt that should be dismissed immediately. Here's his running mate, J.D. Vance.
I don't think that it changes anything legally. I think it's clearly an effort to try to do more election interference from Jack Smith. He should be ashamed of himself, and it's one of the reasons why we have to win, because he should not be anywhere near power.
New this morning, Trump is facing criticism for his appearance at Arlington National Cemetery earlier this week. He went to honor the 13 U.S. service members killed in a suicide bombing in Afghanistan 3 years ago, and to blame Kamala Harris for the chaotic withdrawal from that country. But after a ceremony there, Trump visited the part of the cemetery where troops who were killed in recent wars are buried. His campaign brought a photographer. A cemetery official tried to block that photographer from taking pictures. Federal law prohibits political campaigning within Army cemeteries. The Trump campaign says it got permission from family members of the fallen service members to be in that area. Later today, Kamala Harris and her running mate Tim Walz will kick off a bus tour in southern Georgia. They'll hold a rally in Savannah tomorrow. Trump has criticized Harris for failing to do any media interviews since she joined the race. She has one on the schedule now. She and Walz will sit down for an interview with CNN's Dana Bash. It will air on CNN tomorrow night. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris have agreed finally to debate each other on ABC on September 10th. Trump says on social media that the rules will be the same as they were during the debate with President Biden. In other words, with the microphones turned off when it is not a candidate's turn to speak. But the Harris campaign says not so fast. They haven't agreed to that rule yet. They are still pushing for the mics to be hot or on during the entire debate. So we'll see what happens with that. Frank?